All right, today we're gonna learn how to paint these lily pads. All right, the question of the day is, who is ShawNshawN? All right, let's run through the colors. Quin red, pearly orange, Van Dyke brown, Union yellow, primary yellow, Quin blue, primary cyan, phthalo green, titanium white, Mars black. All right, today we're gonna do a lily pond. For this painting, we got kind of that nice sky blue, really kind of turquoise, really nice water that we're showing in the photo. It's almost like a purple water, so maybe I make a touch more purple to make it a little warmer. We have kind of these dead lily pads. In the color, they're kind of like orange, kind of really faded orange, faded green. I've livened it up a little bit, maybe browner, so maybe I need to tone that back to maybe a more subtle purple, so we'll see where it goes. ShawNshawN is a famous post-impressionist, and his work led up to what would be taken over by Cubism. So he's kind of the precursor to Cubism, that transition between Impressionism, Post-Impressionism, and Cubism, because he broke down the landscape into kind of squares, blocks, circles, which is very close to what so the Cubists took it down further by breaking it down from the circle square that kind of ShawNshawN had kind of still at that one point perspective, and Cubism expanded to multi-directional, multi-perspective within the painting. So all different sides of a figure from all 360-degree angles, probably under the chin, over the chin, into the head, while ShawNshawN was always that landscape straight ahead. He was really lucky in the sense that he came from a rich background. His father kind of forced him into being a lawyer, which he didn't like at all. And then later he got out of it, kind of broke with his father for a while, and then they reconciled. His father left him an inheritance, so that made he didn't have to struggle at all during his lifetime, and just lived comfortably and painted without that financial struggle, which makes, I think, a lot of difference for a lot of artists. You don't always make maybe the most heartfelt work because you're comfortable, but it really takes away the stress of painting smalls, painting big, choosing the colors you want. So it allows you a lot of freedom in your work to be able to paint. So I would highly encourage artists to kind of have some kind of, maybe not a permanent day job, but something on the side gig until the art takes off. It definitely makes a difference to kind of have that nice smooth transition from a day job, doing art on the weekends, start to sell it, and then slowly cut back the day job and make art more of a full-time thing. And that's ShawNshawN. All right, we just finished the painting. Let's take a closer look. So we have these like lily grounds sitting on, there's two types of water here. It's kind of a darker blue, and then it's this lighter reflective blue, which you do see in water, which is, you know, really a challenge to paint. You really need to kind of neutralize the blue, so it's just kind of a faded blue versus any kind of blue mixed with white per se. You do definitely need to add some colors to tone that down. Probably the contrasting orange or greens and browns to kind of filter that blue water down. Here you have more of a pure blue at the top. We have the lilies, I've kind of outlined them, and then green, and then you have the brown ones. Overall, I really like the watercolor, I think. I think the watercolor works the best from a distance. Quite close, it's not exactly perfect. This is a challenge to paint with blue, because if you have any variation in the blue, it's a very drippy paint. It doesn't dry well. So you really need to layer and layer and layer and layer. And as you saw me working it, kind of sometimes if you're working it, you can actually wipe out the thinner underlying color. So you really kind of have to layer that quite a bit. I probably could layer this a little more, but I think I'm done. I don't know if I want to revisit water lilies. It's definitely more challenging than I thought it was. I've done seascapes and waterfalls, and I thought that was challenging, but I think because I've always seen them, I know what they look like. So the water lilies, you're kind of interpreting from the photo, but you don't know what you should interpret, what you shouldn't. Different styles of how to get those effects, like with the flowers popping out. I think they turned out decent. It's not my favorite painting, but I do think it's okay. Hopefully it'll sell. Hopefully my customer won't see this video and be like, oh my god, I shouldn't have bought it. Anyway, hopefully you guys like it. Give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe below. And if you want to see the full version, check my Patreon account. And I'll see you in the next painting video, guys.